Welcome to the 2022 Waco Annual Charity Open, and I am so happy to be here. I freaking love the Beast. This is the second Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the year. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we are the two hot geese.
Honk. Honk. Today, we only get to play one course this week, which is awesome because we can dial it in and get better as the weekend goes on. Our feature card today, we get to watch Kona Panis, last year's winner, Paige Pierce, Eveliina Salonen, and Heather Young attack the wooded and wide open holes of the Beast.
Kona Panis not only winning, but winning by a landslide. She shot 16 down over the 3 rounds last weekend, averaging 996 golf.
Holy moly. We're right on the Brazos River. And day one was very windy.
So cold.
It was so cold. The wind chill was down to 24 at the first tee time of the day. Hole one was a brutal starting hole with out of bounds all the way around all the sides. There was a right to left ripping crosswind. A lot of people had to change their game plan from practice rounds to something a little bit more overstable. The out of bounds line on the right does have that advertisement wall, but it's pulled back a little bit. So if you land on that wall, you are OB.
For those of you who are students of the coverage, you'll notice they chopped out a middle section that you can throw through. In previous years, you're throwing over the bushes, and now you have a bit more of a gap.
A lot of players are going to grab a putter or a mid, in this case maybe something a little bit more understable to fight that right to left crosswind and hopefully prevent just that sliding up the hill on the left-hand side. I really like Kona's play with the sidearm as well.
It just feels so scary because you can't see. You can see the left out of bounds, so it feels like you can control it. The right side's blind. But it's, sidearm was smart in this wind.
Eveliina looks like she's ripping on an overstable.
That's a rock
putter?
3.
Mid? Okay.
Perfect. Boy, yeah, nearly parked. But that is a tester at that distance. It's sustained 20-mile-per-hour winds, but we had gusts up to 30 all day. It never stopped.
Yeah, the practice round yesterday was about 72, so we had a 40-plus degree temperature swing in the last 24 hours.
Love it.
And we were all feeling it.
I live in Montana and have lived there my entire adult life, and this is like one of the coldest rounds I've ever had. Just to, not to oversell it, but like, oh my God.
It was real. It was brutal.
Heather just chipping up a little A5, and she's pretty parked. Wait, I'm sorry, who was that? Yeah, okay, then this is Kona from almost Circle 2.
It's
I saw the
Kona's
purple jacket,
purple.
So then I was like, it must be Heather.
It's Heather's signature color.
Yeah. Paige with a chance to save her par.
Definitely a death putt here with the green rolling towards that out-of-bounds line. She pitches it up nice and soft.
Yeah, safe run it looked like.
This is one of the shortest holes on the course. But it was extremely intimidating getting right off the warm-up green and coming out into that wind and having to trust your disc after 2 very calm practice days.
Eveliina a little high, and she'll have, honestly, a similar distance, a little closer for her par.
I think that really highlights just how nerve-wracking it was playing in this wind suddenly so early in the morning.
Eveliina did win this event in 2020 when we all found out that COVID was a thing and there was only 2 rounds. She won with a -4 overall over 2 rounds, so kind of an interesting win. It's like one of those ones you kind of have to put an asterisk on. I mean, she definitely beat everybody, but, 2 versus 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm. There was surprisingly only 5 twos on the day on that very short hole. I think we will see more in the days coming. Hole 2 is a par 4. It's 531 feet with out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side along the Brazos River, and way left it wraps around behind the basket, but you'd really have to get out of control. Any entrepreneurs or business owners out there? Are you looking for taking the next step in your e-commerce? Swarm Digital, they sponsored FPO coverage last year in 2022. They love supporting people who support women's disc golf. So if you're looking for website design or development, or maybe just increasing traffic to your website, click the link in the bio. They'll be sponsoring drone footage all weekend, so you guys check them out. Swarm Digital.
Wow, this is a great move on this disc from Eveliina. destroyer, obviously. Wow, she's so far up there.
It's a perfect play here just to rip something overstable towards that river and let it hyzer out to the middle of the fairway.
Not quite as friendly for the left-handed player to go backhand, so Heather opts for the sidearm. That's a pretty good play. Like, she'll have a chance to birdie it from there. It's really not a huge distance for a par 4, though it was, you know, kind of a tailwind, so if you weren't careful, it could kind of smack down your disc. This is most likely a Zeus from Paige, thrown pretty well, but it catches that last tree. She's still quite a ways up there.
Heather still with some distance left after having to take a sidearm off the tee, but she gets every bit of that on her second sidearm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She's parked.
She went D2, D2, tap in.
This played is the easiest hole on the day, with 28% of the field getting a birdie.
Kona leaves herself with a kind of circle's edge putt for her birdie.
It's so cool to watch the coverage from this tournament over the last 5 years, because it used to be maybe 1 or 2 people getting this distance where we can see Paige throwing from, and now everyone just has little chip pitch-up shots on this hole. It makes the hole a lot easier, a little less interesting on the second shots. Look at Eveliina way down there.
Yeah, she crushed it. She could, you know, entertain the idea of throwing it in.
She's easily over 400 feet on that drive.
Yeah, just a little pitch-up Cayman. That's a word.
It's been a long day, folks. Expect more of that.
I'm not from Florida. I don't know.
Putting at the Brazos River Bluff. Oh!
Dang, that looked good.
I don't know how that didn't stay in. Usually at the Waco Annual Charity Open, you can barely see that wall because the shrubbery is so grown up, but look at all these sticky trees. It still feels like winter here in Waco.
Yeah, it must be something about that Arctic wind blowing in. Just, ugh.
Ugh. Great sidearm birdie from Heather.
Good comebacker from Kona there. We saw her win this event with her Anheuser putting, but now she's doing a flatter putt, more of a spin putt. And that was actually a straddle, which I don't know how much of that we've seen. And a great easy birdie from Eveliina. She likes
happy.
it, yeah. She's always smiling. Hole 3 is a 320-foot par 3. Most right-handed players are going to take the gap that the drone is flying through right here and throw it straight with a hyzer finish, hopefully skipping up the hill and parking it. There is a sidearm play or a left-handed play, but the gaps are a lot smaller on the left. There's some out of bounds, but like it would have to be some kind of cut roller to find it. Ooh, that is a little wider of the typical gap, but it works pretty good.
She hits the hill and still gets a good skip up. That hill has a tendency to anti-skip disc, so it's cool to see it finish under the pin. Heather opting for the straighter route, even with her left-handedness. Picking the sidearm. God, I didn't realize Heather had so much distance on her sidearm.
I think she's getting more and more.
Yeah.
It's like she's getting better with time. It's so weird.
She's pin high. 320, folks, on a sidearm. That's impressive.
I think that tree gets hit more than all of the other trees.
100%.
Just right in the way. This one's sneaky. It plays just a little bit farther, I think, because you have to push so straight.
Yeah, I was just sitting and talking to Kristen, and I was commenting, this is one of the few holes on the course that I feel like I haven't figured out to get consistently a birdie on. Even though it's only 320, it seems Like it should be easy?
I think that happens a lot. Like you hit the ground a little sooner than you think, and then it skips too high up instead of left.
We watched the men's feature card play this, and 3 out of the 4 people did that exact thing, leaving it like 45 short at the pin. Such a weird optical illusion on this hole.
Placement shot to get the ground play right. Kona throwing a little hyzer chip shot. Oh, whoa, weird.
Yeah, birdie definitely gets you strokes on the field, on this hole especially.
Do you see the backspin on that thing?
Yeah. There were 7 birdies on the day.
Let's see if Paige can have a magical one here. This is from downtown. Ooh. Great effort.
Heather says, I don't want to mess with the wind today.
Yeah, she's always been a smart one.
She is.
Kona converts on her par. That's a really good conversion there after kind of getting that roll, and you can easily be like, man, I parked it, now I have to make this putt and miss it, you know?
Sounds like sulky. An attitude adjustment might be necessary.
It's easy to do, man.
Eveliina with the only birdie on the card, one of a few on the day. Coming out looking super solid already. I know it's only been 3 holes, but these 3 holes were real scary, and the wind was pretty intense.
This is like one of the first times I think every single person is happy to go into the woods because it's so much warmer in there.
There's just a little bit of a block, even though all the trees have no leaves. Looking at the leaderboard, Holland taking an early lead with 3 down. She started touring last year, and she's come out strong this year with a great finish at Vegas. Eveliina and Callie McMorrin sitting in the top 3 as well.
Hole 4 is a really interesting par 4. It's only 441 feet. You're throwing, basically, if you can land right here or make it all the way to the corner with a fairway driver or some kind of, you know, sidearm flex shot, you then have a straight look to get a birdie, but it is really hard to get all the way to the corner. A lot of people are not trying to land too much farther than that tree right in the middle. That's a really common mistake, and Eveliina's going to be relatively pinched now on her second shot.
Yeah, pushing straight it's the second worst thing you can do. Obviously, an early release to the left is no man's land, but pushing straight, you can still get your par pretty easily from there. Heather bounces back into the center of the fairway. She still is not far enough down where she can approach the basket. She'll still just have to chip her second shot to circle 2. It is possible to get a backhand with a mid or an overstable putter to carry pretty far down the fairway as well, but it is a tough
I think if you really want the birdie, you have to go probably fairway driver. Like, that's about the farthest you're ever going to see with a slightly slower speed disc. And it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great shot, but she'll still be a tiny bit, you know, short of the corner.
Yep. And when you're approaching the green on your second shot or third shot, the basket's perched on a pretty steep, deathy hill right on the Brazos River. So you can't be super aggressive and blast past the basket on any of your second or third shot.
That's my favorite play, what Paige just did. Just a nice, easy putter and kind of just let it glide. Not getting too greedy, but it can get sneaky distance if you throw it right.
So this card is not showing us how difficult this hole can be off the tee, but it's easy to pick up strokes on your tee shot. 51% of the field with a bogey or worse, and I'd be willing to bet a lot of it happened on tee
early
shots.
Left.
Yeah.
It's jail in there. And yeah, this is a very sharp, almost 90-degree angle. This is one of the better looks we're going to see. Like, these 2 drives are awesome from Kona and from Paige here.
Yanks that sidearm, hits that tree, and catches early. But from there, she'll still even be able to maybe pitch something out to the circle and get a putt.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, you only need to be off the fairway by 2 feet, though, to have nothing in some instances. So we'll see. I think this is a justice from Kona.
Smooth.
Oh, man, it was good.
That was rude.
I mean, she'll have an easy par, but I want the 3 so bad on this. Just like, feels like riding a unicorn, like so elusive. Decent pitch out there. Paige not too punished on the side. She's a patent pending stance. She'll just throw a crystal fierce.
It's a lot more open there than I was expecting. But she, yeah, still having to force something around all the bushes.
Oh, perfect. I got to play with Des Redding today, and she was telling me, you know, back in the day, how much, or just how much harder it was. Like, this is so cleared out.
Yes. And everything's dead, too. Or I shouldn't say dead, but everything's wintering.
Yeah, slumbering.
Yeah, in the summertime, this hole is unbelievable. And especially how thick it is in the undergrowth. Oh, and poison ivy galore.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Kona with a tougher look than I expected. She's probably just laying up. As Madison said, it really dropped off fast behind the basket. Probably only 4 feet away.
Beauty.
Yeah, well done. Cat's more than 4 feet.
There was only
15.
1 3 on the day today.
The unicorn.
Stacy Haas.
Congratulations.
Hope she enjoyed her ride through the clouds.
Solid connection from Heather.
Par feels good here.
Sorry. Yeah, rare to see an entire card kind of escape unscathed through that hole.
I think this is the first year that I played this hole that there was not at least one single speedboat zooming by on the screen. It was too cold for that today.
Not speedboat weather.
Yeah. Oh, a 28-degree wind chill. Let's take the boat out.
Par frame for the card. Excellent.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably very rare. Hole 5 is a 264-foot par 3, another one of the shorties on the course. It is uphill. I swear this last hill before the basket is magical. If you hit that even on a hyzer angle, it will skip you to the right towards the basket. So that's a play. Just throw it into the hill hard and let
magical hill.
Yeah, let the magic hill work you into the green. No out of bounds you have to worry about here. Just a lot of trees. Eveliina putting a lot more air under her shot. She sneaks under all the branches you have to miss and finds her way inside the circle in high.
Mako 3, which is like maybe the least stable thing we've seen her throw this year on camera so far.
If you guys like watching Disc Golf Live, check out the Disc Golf Network. We appreciate you watching here on the GK Pro channel, but definitely check out the Disc Golf Network as well. There's a lot of interviews. There's pre-tournament press conferences. There's all kinds of goodies. So check out Disc Golf Network for live FPO action.
Heather throwing her trusty D2 and working the right side, gets up there for a putt. Kona lands a little bit short and doesn't quite skip up the hill. Magic can only get you so far.
Paige giving it all the height that it needs.
Looks amazing.
That's a great shot. Bullseye.
Bullseye. Not sure what that one is. Buzz, would be my guess.
Yeah, it could be a buzz, could be a putter.
Kona maybe just inside circle 2. Looks like she's going kind of back to that Anheuser putt.
You have a ballpark guess of how many percentage of birdies in the FPO field on this hole?
18.
Wow. Okay. I would have said higher than that. It's 13. I would have guessed that this would have been more like a quarter of the field. I think this is an incredibly gettable hole, but there was only 6 birdies on the day.
It is gettable, but literally every hole out here on the Beast, you can find trouble, and you can bogey it in 1 second if you lose focus.
Yeah, and if you do hit early, it's a
over.
really tough recovery.
Yeah.
It is a tough recovery.
Yeah, if you can scramble on this course, like, you are a rarity. Excellent birdie there from Paige. Playing it just like you're supposed to.
Eveliina cleans up her par. Paige is the only birdie we will be seeing on our feature card.
Par's fine.
And apparently one of the rare rubies of the day. Who would have thought?
Another short par 3 at 267 feet. Hole 6 calls for like a hyzer flip sidearm or a backhand putter shot, maybe a flippy mid-range. Probably a good backhand for Heather, like one of the first backhands we'll probably see off the tee from her. She's been throwing a lot of sidearms.
Mm-hmm. And even, which I'm sure she's comfortable with. But even though this is at 267 feet, this hole is so hard to get. Just a little bit earlier, a little bit too straight, and there's nothing.
Oh, that's amazing. Come on, come on.
Oh!
Yeah. She sneaks through the last couple trees. That was a beautiful line.
She'll be inside the circle.
I think this is definitely a little bit easier of a forehand hole, but it's so technical.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little early.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can sneak through on that inside line. It does work. But like we saw Paige's disc, you do have to miss a couple more fairway trees.
If you get too far right, too, it's garbage. So
Oh, is it?
know. Yeah. Like if you get kicked really far right or something. Heather pulling it a little bit to the left, and it's a little bit tricky on that right side. See if she has a good look.
Kona's sidearm's looking so smooth.
Yeah, that looked good. It was just a little bit high, but it still gets all the way. It looks like just inside the circle.
Yeah, it's goes sharply downhill about 2/3 of the way down the fairway, so you don't need that much height. You can keep it low and either play the skip or let the hill do the work for you and create the extra air. Ooh. Eveliina trying to get that too.
Yeah. Birdie or die. Yeah, this is what
I didn't realize it was that rough over there.
Yeah, so, I mean, Paige's sneaking through is definitely the exception to the rule. And this is a great line from Heather, just a nice panning sidearm.
The scramble queen.
Yeah.
She was #1 in scramble in 2021.
I've seen her do some of the most unbelievable scrambling in the world. Like, I don't even have time to talk about it right now, but just trust me.
You always trust a goose. Says no one ever.
No one's ever said that. Or we're going to put it on a t-shirt. Kona not able to convert, unfortunately, for her birdie.
Paige with a long look. Boom.
Connects. Birdie. Gets her under par for the round.
26% of the field with a birdie on this hole. I would have thought the last hole was
I would have
easier.
flip-flopped them for
Me
sure
too.
if you just gave me the numbers.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good sign of the FPO field figuring out sidearms. It used to be, I don't want to say the minority, but definitely not as many people had the sidearms.
Oh, for sure.
And now everyone's got them. You have to have them to remain competitive.
Mm-hmm. And we do have 48 women playing today, so really strong field.
Yeah, the tournament director and the Disc Golf Pro Tour decided to add a women's card last minute this morning and let 4 women in off the wait list. It's so cool. Thanks to Ryan Draper, the tournament director, and the Pro Tour for taking care of FPO and helping us grow the sport on our side.
Woo! Hole 7 is a really fun par 4. You just need to throw a hyzer out of the gap and then throw across this ditch here and hopefully get yourself a birdie. It's only 430 feet, so it's not the distance that'll get you. It's, again, being early off the tee or, you know, in the woods and having trouble.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Paige is going to have a hard time getting par, honestly.
I feel like she knows. She knows.
Her face says it all.
Yeah. It's doable. You can get your par from over there. It's just you're
hard.
You're hoping you have a gap.
Oh, no.
Not bad.
Well, that's better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Heather at least sits in the middle. All right, let's see if Kona can show us the line.
I don't know if you can tell on the coverage, but it's a pretty ripping left to right crosswind. You can feel it on this tee pad, and once you get out into the field, you can really feel it.
Ooh, early, but sometimes these sneak through. Not quite.
And everyone does look like they're wearing jackets and whatnot, but I mean, I feel like these people are the least bundled up of everyone in FPO today.
I was just thinking that. I mean, like, they have to be freezing, right?
There was people wearing ski pants. I was wearing earmuffs and a beanie.
Looking good.
It was brutal out there. What a great shot.
That was a Thunderbird from Eveliina, and that's just how you draw it up. But probably 50 feet farther than you can draw it up, or at least I can.
It's so true. Heather's way out in the middle. She wants it to sit down so that she has more of a straight approach or a left-handed backhand approach to the pin.
She's fine, though.
Uh-huh. You get far out there, it does cut off your angle a little bit.
This looks rough.
She's just trying to poke out into the field as much as she can.
Great little floaty putter shot. Or actually, I think that's her soul.
If you don't get the distance all the way out, it makes the approach to the basket really tough for sidearm or backhand.
Yeah. I mean, even where Paige is, like, that's not easy.
Oh, no. It's not easy, wide open, straight ahead.
When I came through, it was kind of more of just a straight tailwind, too. So it's kind of pushing the disc down as soon as it entered that ditch.
Mm-hmm. Kona opting for a standstill, and she gets it out in the middle. She'll have about 150 feet left to the basket.
Yeah, everyone kind of left with a similar distance shot here. Let's see. Paige testing the wind for her card mates.
Paige's second shot was impressive.
It really was.
That close?
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so she made that look like no big deal.
It's such a narrow gap, and the very dramatic gully just before the basket plays tricks on you. There's a lot of branches sticking there, and it can so easily filter down to the left or to the right, leaving you a very steep uphill putt.
Some of these naked winter twigs, you don't see them till your disc hits them.
It's so true, though.
And that's a really common mistake as well. You really have to throw it so straight. And if you're a little left or right, sometimes it leaves you with almost nothing on the putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I laid up from inside the circle today.
I think that's a harp from Kona. And you can see how... Yeah, the height wasn't quite right, so she's close, maybe 20 feet, but kind of an awkward, straight uphill putt. Oh, yeah, it is pretty left to right.
Yeah, she's dealing with one of those gusty situations. They happen. Oof!
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Wonderful.
AVR 3.
And she is CTP.
Yeah, look how awkward this is.
These stairs are pretty brutal, too, because even if you land one bullseye and it hits that stair, it can so easily pick you up and roll you backwards down the hill.
See, from there, it looks more like a straight tailwind.
It was shifting, for sure. I would try to hide behind a tree to block the wind, and then it would just whip around the other side.
Gotcha.
Paige taking a knee, super death putt. Catches some change that slows her down, but
not enough.
Yeah, unfortunately rolls.
Outside the circle looks like... Dang, that would have been one heck of a save.
23% of the field with a birdie on this hole. That's blowing my mind. Hole 5 being awesome. So low. Yeah.
I mean, it is short. And honestly, our lead card ladies didn't do the best job of getting out of the gap.
That's true.
On
That's
the
true.
initial shot. If you do, it's not a very long second shot, but it is tricky.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What a solid-looking putt from Heather. From a knee.
Not worried about it. Look at this winter mitten that Kona has on.
Still being really careful because I don't know if you can tell on the camera angle, but it's so steep right there.
It is. It's also that hard pan that's kind of slippery.
Mm-hmm. Do
you think that's just a windbreaker and Evelina's I'm from Sweden. Like, this isn't
a big
very
deal.
cold, you babies.
This is what she's used to. Hole 8 is the shortest hole on the course. Another short wooded par 3. This is the tiniest gap on the course as well, and it is very intimidating. The play is to try to land at the circle 2 little tassel on the ground or the circle 1 and let it slide up to the basket. Anything else, any height can put you down in the bowl to the right side, and it's brutal putting from down there. Early release on either side is just absolute death on this hole. It's really hard to recover and can quickly turn into a 4.
Eveliina's from Finland, and I was going Sweden, Finland in my head, so I apologize to all you Finns. Us Americans will learn world geography at some point.
We do know it's cold there.
Yeah, it's cold in both places.
Yeah.
Kona, early left side. Paige throwing a lot of touchy backhand putter shots. And almost makes it. That was the last tree to beat. And
it's not bad over there. She'll be able to pitch something out. But putting from there is scary. It's a huge death putt.
Yeah, and if you slide too far on the hill, there's a ton of bushes in the way and often doesn't even leave you a comebacker.
Man, I am loving Kona's forehand touch right now. Her drives, her approaches, they look so good.
Yeah, I like the kind of floaty putts she's got going. Like, it's got good power and spin, but it pushes really straight for how stable her disc is.
I thought Paige would be a little more open over there and have more of a look, but she had nothing.
No, that's what I thought she would have. Like, it's rough out here.
Yeah, if you get crash left at around 40 feet, you're good. 40 feet and in, but she was a little behind that, and she still goes full send on the death putt.
Heather showing wisdom beyond her years, as she always does, and just laying up.
So the shortest hole in the course and only 17% of the field with birdies. Just shows you how small this gap truly is and how punishing this little bowl can be.
Paige has a gap here.
Yes.
Nice. Good damage control.
Yep, out of 48 women, 8 birdies.
And it's so short.
And it's so short. Annoyingly short.
Yeah, I know. This one got me good.
But I still love this hole. Sometimes I think short holes can be a little, not the best course design, but I really like this hole. I think it's pretty awesome. I love the challenge, and I love the change of pace.
I mean, all of the ones under 300 feet are good. Super challenging.
Yep.
Could easily bogey, could easily birdie,
They don't feel like just putter golf either. They feel tough.
Mm-hmm.
And we move on to one of the most brutal holes on the course.
There's also always a backup on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
Par 5, only 519 feet, but so treacherous. Most women are going to take this right side gap. You can throw putter, mid, fairway, really whatever you want. Just throw it straight and maybe try to get down in this bowl. If you're feeling, frisky, you can try to get all the way there on a second shot, but it's so hard to get where you need to have a straight look at it on your second. So very, very fourable if you stay clean, even if you lay up with like a putter on your first shot. Oh my gosh, she split the gap.
Oh my,
look how far this is. That was such a full send.
that has to be the farthest drive I've ever seen on this hole.
Absolutely. Guess what she threw too?
What?
TL3.
Oh,
it's like
my
not
God.
even a distance driver.
Holy moly, that was so good. That is the best drive. I bet that's the best drive we see on this hole all weekend.
It was amazing, but I will say, like, when you play the aggressive play, you are bringing those trees in the middle into play. Like, there's such a high chance that you could hit one of those and just careen off into the side.
And,
so, like,
and on the left side, it's open enough that your disc can filter forever down that way.
Yeah.
And there's a big ditch, and it is... You can't recover from there.
I was in there, and it sucked.
You're taking a guaranteed bogey, double bogey in there.
So here's Paige just going putter, which is a good play. Just playing for the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want Eveliina to 3 this so bad.
What stinks here, though, is even if you have that drive like Eveliina has, down in the bowl, you still are not guaranteed to be able to get to the green on your second shot. I know that's an eagle, so it sounds greedy, but it's crazy. Even if you have
want
the
the
best,
reward if you make it into
you
the pool,
do.
you want it so bad.
I like Heather's play a lot here. I love her placement, and that sidearm looks great. She pushes it deep so that it opens up her approach to the green as well. It's exactly what you want.
She just goes A3, A3, playing conservative, but still giving her a look at the birdie. She'll be a little cut off. I think she might be pushed a little bit too deep, but hopefully she has something. Paige, similar to Heather, just going putter-putter. And that is pretty ideal. Smack dab in the middle.
Kona having to hit a little gap, but she's been working those sidearms so well. She'll do a little S-curve here.
Yeah, this is a very stable justice she's been throwing, and I really love the angle.
Oh, it looked so good.
And she's not punished too badly, but that's a very long tunnel shot she has left, and it looks like a tree's right in her way.
Yeah, at that point, I'm calling it a 5 if it's my game, but you can get there with the distance sidearm.
Can.
Oh! Looks so good. Catches that last line of trees before the green. She'll have a putt.
She will. Yeah, definitely this hole calls for, I think, a sidearm on this final shot. Very hard to get a backhand there.
100%. Even if you have something that fades right at the end, it's still hard to get it to fade late enough.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it. That would be an insane, too. But she's up there for the eagle. Paige a little inside, but there is a gap there.
Yeah, even if she would have missed outside, that would have gone way far past. And there, it is bad back there. Even inside the circle past the basket is brutal.
It can be, yeah. Hopefully she's left with a putt.
I think she'll have one because she went a little early.
Heather just kind of left with this patent pending stance. I like the angle. That one little branch got her. It kind of just kicked it straight up.
A wintry twig.
The naked winter twig. Kona from about 40. A little obstructed.
This greens, a lot of these greens are scary, but this one has a lot of roots that can pick you up and roll you. I like the soft bid here.
I always like the soft bid. Whether it's advised or not. Give it a soft run.
Oh, Paige having to sidearm from inside the circle. No one likes having to do that.
It's ruining her stats. People.
Bullseye.
Jesus. Eveliina for the eagle.
No. Eagles are hard to come by on this course. So impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll take the birdie, but dang. I'm guessing there weren't any eagles on the day.
There were not. There was 8 birdies more than I would have guessed.
Again, it's not the distance. I mean, if you can throw 140 feet a couple of times, you can birdie it. Scores are looking pretty good, though. Honestly, with the conditions the way they were, finishing around even par is going to be great. Staying under par, rather, is going to be tough to do as we get back out in the open and experience the wind again.
Yeah, we have a few more wooded holes before we have to go out into that mayhem that is the gusting winds. Before we go, just check out our feature card here. There's some different colors on there, but there's still room. Chris and Tatar screaming to the top of the leaderboard, 4 down through 10. We can see Heather and Eveliina also in the top 5 as well. We hope you guys enjoyed the front 9 of the first round of the Waco Annual Charity Open. We still got 9 more holes, and it is very exciting. So hang out. My name's Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're 2 hot geese.
Honk.